Chuck Diamond here along with JL, bringing you another edition of Sudden Impact, emanating from Bartonville, Illinois. We're bringing you a tag team match. You have on one side of the ring, and actually this is a match of two former Midwest Impact Pro Tag Team Champions. You have the Blacks going up against the Asylum.
You know, I'm gonna stop you right there, Chuck. I'm gonna tell you, right? I see here the Blacks are just outclassed and outmanned by the Asylum. They're big monster dudes fighting this skinny noodle guy over here and this chick with a headband. What are they, pirates now?
Well, JL, right now, Robert Black being overpowered by the Maniac Scott Matthews. These teams have had their battles in the past, indeed.
Well, yeah, they've had their battles in the past, but they can beat on him, but it doesn't hurt him. He's a big monster dude. He's just going to tear people apart. That's just the way it is, Chuck.
Well, Maniac Scott Matthews cornered by Robert Black, and a splash in the corner by Raven Black, and another by Robert. And now, a double chop in the corner to the Maniac Scott Matthews.
Now, he's going to have to get over in his corner there, Chuck, or he's going to be in a lot of trouble because right now, he's getting wore out by the double team. You know, this is a heel move. This is the kind of stuff I would do, Chuck. Not these guys. I thought these were goody two-shoes.
And right now, double big boot takes down the Maniac Scott Matthews. That's more than 300 or 400 pounds taking that big man down in a double elbow. Robert Black hooks the leg, only gets a 2 count.
You know, I'm going to say something, Chuck. If you have a bunch of guys beating on you, I'd like to see you stand up for longer than he did.
Well, nonetheless, JL, I've been out of the ring a very long time indeed.
Since 1943!
As right now, Robert Black laying in those right hands, he hits the rope, and the Maniac Scott Matthews takes down Robert Black with that knife-edge chop.
See, I told you he'd be back up. All they did was just make him mad. Now his anger is going to come out to haunt them. These two pirates, I'm using the air quotes here, Chuck, have nothing on these two crazies.
Well, the Asylum, also former Midwest Impact Pro Tag Team Champions, as Maniac Scott Matthews took down Robert Black that headbutt. Now he's choking him with that boot, using the rope for leverage. Referee giving the count.
That was an unfair count, Chuck. He should have been looking the other way.
Well, the referee is just doing his job as right now.
You know, and I got a problem with the referees doing their job. They always catch me cheating. I mean, bending the rules a little bit.
It's the same thing JL is right now. Maniac Scott Matthews with a splash in the corner to Robert Black. Robert Black had plenty of time to recover, but I'm guessing the Maniac Scott Matthews did quite a number on him before, and now he finally tags in the Strangler, James Pinkerton.
Now, Pinkerton here is a loose cannon, and he could destroy these two single-handedly. Look at him. Look at him. The crazy is coming out. Look at his eyes, Chuck.
Strangler James Pinkerton, a very dangerous individual indeed, and going to work on Robert Black, using that size advantage, and he drives him right down to his knee. Robert Black in trouble.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. This guy is full-blown crazy. I wouldn't want to get into the ring. I've been in the ring with him, and he's nuts.
Yes, indeed, JL. The Asylum, a very dangerous team indeed, but do not count out the Blacks in this match. They're very resilient. They are two-time former Midwest Impact Pro Tag Team Champions, but Robert Black meets a foot right to the face by the Strangler, James Pinkerton.
I'm loving that, Chuck. Anything to see these two scallywags destroyed. You know, I offered them a place in Empire and they turned me down.
Yes, indeed, I do recall that. JL is right now. Robert Black thrown in the Asylum's corner. He's in the wrong side of town here. The Maniac Scott Matthews tagged back inside the ring. The bigger of the two Asylum members, mind you, JL.
Well, they're both huge. These guys are really big, and their size advantage really helps them take down opponents. And I think as long as they stay on top of these guys, they should be fine, Chuck. I don't think there's going to be any issue here at all. I think they're going to mow right through. You know, I'm looking at Robert Black over in the corner. He's just a puppet in their hands, clay to their pottery making, just pounding them relentlessly. And I don't see any. Wait a minute. That referee shouldn't get involved at all.
We have Maniac Scott Matthews really. Oh wait, Robert Black rolls up the mat and only gets a 2 count. That almost cost the Maniac Scott Matthews getting into a shoving match with the referee.
That was uncalled for. That referee should not have put his hands on those fine wrestlers.
And the Maniac Scott Matthews, he cuts off Robert Black from getting to his sister Raven Black to make that all-important tag. He is still in trouble here. We don't know how much fight he has left. Robert Black, wait a minute. He's laying in those open right hands of Maniac Scott Matthews, and another one, but Maniac Scott Matthews is not going down. And he goes for a kick, catches Enziguri, and down goes the Maniac Scott Matthews.
It's going to take a lot more than this beat down by this little chump to take down this giant Asylum.
Yes, indeed, but don't count out the Blacks. They are very resilient. They have proved that time and time again in the past.
They cheat, Chuck! They cheat!
They proved that time and time again in the past here on this very program. And now, Raven Black inside the ring. She clotheslines the Strangler. James Pinkerton staggers him. And now, forearm to Maniac. And another clothesline to Pinkerton. And a elbow in the corner, and a clothesline to James Pinkerton. He falls against the buckle, and she's just going at both of them. She better not exert too much energy, though. However, JL.
Well, I think this is a bad. Well, realistically, this is about the only thing she can do. She got to use the energy on her side in order to pick up the momentum here, because these guys have the strength advantage. Far, far superior strength advantage. Just the speed alone is going to be what's going to take them down, Chuck. That's the only way she can get ahead.
Well, Raven Black, for once you actually made a call that makes sense in a matchup.
My calls always make sense, Chuck!
As right now, Robert Black, he takes down the Maniac Scott Matthews. She goes for and only gets a 2 count on the Maniac Scott Matthews. The Blacks are back in this one. Wait a minute. The Strangler, James Pinkerton, has a hold of Robert Black from the apron. Robert Black headbutts him, and she knocks a Strangler right off the apron. And now Maniac Scott Matthews, she ducks the clothesline, and a sling blade. Down goes a Maniac Scott Matthews. Wait just 1 second here. Is she even going to go for the cover? Well, what is going on here? And Robert Black climbing up to the top rope. What could be going on here? And a swanton bomb! And now, wait, the legal person in the ring is Raven Black, and she gets a 3 count on the Maniac Scott Matthews. Your winners this week on Sudden Impact, the Blacks.
I guess it's all over with now, Chuck. All over but the crying, and I'll do plenty of that for you.
Yes, indeed, you will, JL.